Hello and welcome to another commentary by SirPurebe. Yeah, so anyway, this is a best of 3 match between WFZ, spawning as the blue undead. As you can see, his name doesn't show up. Just what it is, but as you can see, it's right there. It's a Chinese name. WFZ is what he goes by in the English alphabet, WFZ. So we'll call him WFZ, and that's what we'll have and stuff. And he is against the undead god Lucifer. Some people may be like, "Oh, you shouldn't say that," but whatever. Lucifer, he's awesome. I love Lucifer. He's probably my favorite player, and I say probably, and I mean he's totally my favorite player. Lucifer, the gray undead. Let's do it. Now we did see this matchup with Lucifer not all that long ago, and I believe Zotac number 259 is what I believe it was, where we saw Lucifer doing an undead. I think it was a best of 5 in the semifinals against DKH Rain, and spoiler alert, but he lost. Now, and it was a best of 3 actually, I think, or was it I don't remember. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I can't remember. So, I think it was a best of 5. Anyway, so we're gonna see Lucifer now doing yet another undead mirror. And this time against, like I said, WFZ. Now we do see a DK from WFZ doing a what looks like a Ted Fiends type build here. And we have Lucifer doing a Lich build. And it looks like it's going to be some ghouls. So Lich ghouls versus what I believe is Ted Fiends. So this could be fun. Now we do see the Nubian Tower immediately going up. What we did see against DKH Rain, there was that Lucifer liked to do some very strong pushes with ghouls. So we'll see what happens, and if he chooses to do that again. Now, this map is Crystal Kingdom. As you can see, there are crystals all over the map. Let's just turn off the Fog of War so you can get a better look at these, just while it's in the early game. You've probably never seen this map before, at least I have never seen this map before. I know it exists, but I've never actually seen any games on it. So, I'm just going to take a quick look. We have a fountain mana over here, and a fountain of mana, I should say, with a pretty nice creep. I believe the blue drake actually has a cold slow attack. It's kind of cool. This kind of reminds me of, and I think it reminds everybody of what StarCraft. That's right. Look at this, Vespine geysers and some mineral patches. I think that might be what this is referring to. I think that's pretty clever. And over here we have some holy deers. Nubian Queen, Nubian Spider Lord, some warriors. That's a pretty strong creep camp right there. And oh, look at that. We have some more Tuskar warriors over here with some pretty cool designs. I like this map so far, just from what I've been seeing. Let me go ahead and turn the Fog of War back off, since it looks like we actually have a little bit of harassment going on over here. Some skeletons harassing the Acolyte, and that's pretty cool. Here we do see the Death Knight. That looks pretty funky. Basically just harassing the creep right there from Lucifer, trying to steal some XP. I don't think he managed it. He looks like he just killed an Acolyte. Yeah, he killed an Acolyte. That's where he got 25 experience from. Unable to actually steal anything from Lucifer, however. And over here we can see that Lucifer's going to be able to save this Acolyte, no problem. It looks like, I say that as he blocks it with his school. But, looks like it's going to be fine. We'll see what happens here. It might actually go down, but it's not going to happen, no. And Lucifer knows it's not, so he goes ahead and begins his tech. Over here we can see, for WFZ, he's already began his tech, and he's getting some fiends pumped out. So we'll see what happens over here. As Lucifer is level 1, they're both level 1 still, just 25 experience. That means he only killed one single Acolyte. Oh, that's just freaky. Do you see that? Like, it's so weird. Look where the text is, the white text Duke Wintermaw level 1. It's like under the Death Knight. That's pretty freaky, but that's just Chinese characters for you. I think I could fix that if I were to switch to a Chinese locale, so I could display Mandarin in the actual thing, but that requires a restart. So I'm a little lazy, and then it makes all the other text look a little bit worse. So yeah. Anyway, it's like on the side of the screen now. It's like over there by the crystals. What is going on? What are you doing? Look, it's something over there. It's under the Lich. It's like way under the Lich, but still, whatever. Anyway, so the Lich is running away, just kind of kiting this army a little bit, you could say. As we can see, the ghouls are running back to the base for Lucifer, and he does go ahead and throw down a graveyard. Now, this is pretty nice. Lucifer has been using those Novas very, very much, and he's just pretty much at this fountain of mana, regenerating some mana. There is a skeleton right there that will go ahead and wake up the creeps, and yes, indeed, this does have a slow cold attack. As you can see, it slows down Lucifer, and he slows down his attack speed, slows down his movement speed, and he runs away, taking a fair amount of damage from this guy. And if WFZ is able to find him right there, and it looks like he will, then he will be able to, you know, do some attacks. However, looks like he knows this was being creeped out by Lucifer's ghouls, and he does go ahead and steal a creep, and there is an item. He does not go for the item, so it looks like Lucifer's going to be able to grab that. One of Lucifer's really low HP ghouls actually running back into the fight. Looks like it's going to go down because of that. Unfortunate, and there are 3 fiends out for WFZ, and we do see Lucifer going ahead and using the skeleton rod to go ahead and get a dark ritual off. Now, we do see WFZ hitting level 2 by stealing some more of those creep experiences, and we're going to see what happens here. Lucifer's Lich is pretty low, and he does go ahead and do some damage to that Fiend. However, the Fiend is not really in a bad position there. It did get coiled, and that's not a problem. So, we do have Lucifer back into his base, and we do see it looks like WFC has a faster tier 3 tech than Lucifer, but not really by as much as the tier 2 tech was ahead. So, that's pretty good by Lucifer catching up a little bit here. And now beginning to pump out Fiends. You really see him tricking WFZ a little bit by using a illusion on the Lich. And it looks like someone's lagging. That's never good for the players. And we have some Fiends already out on the field for Lucifer, so that's nice. Not going to see that really strong tier 2 push or tier 1 sub, you know, on the way to tier 2 push that we did see from Lucifer before, which was actually quite ingenious, I thought. But it was very much something with a very small window. He was just, you know, supply capping the opponent by killing one of the ziggurats. That was generally a forward ziggurat from what I would imagine. That was easily accessible by the ghouls. And less so accessible by the acolytes. Now, anyway, we do see him creeping. If he gets level 3 before his opponent does, that'll be very nice. This is something that we will see pretty often against when you see this kind of a matchup, when you see the dynamic, is that the DK user actually is trying to prevent the opponent from hitting level 3 rather than trying to actively get level 3 himself. That's how you generally will play this. The Lich getting into a bit of a precarious position there, but not really too bad. One of the goals will go down to some focus fire. And not really a big deal. This slaughterhouse could drop if the Fiends focus it down enough. Will there be enough damage output from Lucifer to force them to back off? It looks like there will be enough. He was about to have enough mana for a Nova as well. Although at level 1, it's really not all that powerful, against, especially when there is a Death Knight there to go ahead and provide some support with coils. Now, we do see Lucifer is already getting his Death Knight out as well. And I believe we'll probably see the same thing for the Lich, and that's true, yes. This Lich will come out and be able to immediately grab an orb. We do have a Shade in Lucifer's base who does not have a Sacrificial Pit, so he will not be able to actually build any Shades anytime soon. And over here we can see that he is going to go ahead and use an illusion on the Lich, and that will be the last of his charges. And over here we can see this, which, yeah, it's an orange. It's an orange. And creeping out the orange right here to get level 3 on that Death Knight, taking a fair amount of damage on his Fiends, however, which is unfortunate. Excuse my voice. I did just cast a 33-minute long game that unfortunately was kind of bad. It was. I'm not gonna upload it. It was pretty bad. Like, ooh, some games are just bad, and that one was one of them. Unfortunately. But over here we do see that this Shade is pretty much just watching Lucifer creep. A little bit creepy, you might say. That was bad. Sorry. I can't resist a bad pun. Anyway, so here we do see this is Lucifer's army running around. He is level 3 now, and he does have an orb. This creep camp right here, very bad. Very bad. As you can see, it immediately Shadow Strike the Death Knight. Yeah, Shadow Strike. It has a Warden's level 1 Shadow Strike. That's crazy. It hurts too. It does. Just it's dumb. Now we see this actually the creeps are focusing on the obsidian statue. We do see that WFZ's army comes in. He does actually already have his Dark Ranger out. There goes Lucifer grabbing his Dark Ranger, focusing down the Death Knight. Is going to be able to force a TP. It looks like he's going to be able to force the TP. He does force the TP. Very nicely done. And the silence being taken put onto those ooh, sorry, Lucifer's hero is just not quite fast enough to stop that Nova. And over here you can see these units are going to do just fine, no problem. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken, so I actually won't say that. I don't want to cause any confusion. Anyway, yeah, it's something that doesn't matter. Anyway, I hate saying that. I hate saying that because it's like, well, now everybody wonders what it was. But no, it really wasn't worth worrying about or wondering about. yeah. So over here we can see Lucifer is going to go ahead and grab some Invulpod items from Invul Potion and Dust from the shop. Good to have Dust against Fiends because, well, you know, they can burrow. Secondly, there is a Shade right here. So if Lucifer does ever decide to use that Dust, there's a good chance he will get the Shade. Now, if he ever scouts that base as well, he'll probably end up dusting for the Shade as well. So we'll see what happens. Here we do see that the Death Knight over here for WFC is still pretty low, and you just have an Invul Potion and a Potion of Healing. And let's see what happens here. He does go ahead and attack the Fiend. The Fiends are running away, and there's really not a whole lot. Lucifer's Death Knight begins taking quite a bit of damage, and he does go ahead and he has a Invul Potion, which dispels the silence as well as keeps him alive. Now, we're going to see a Fiend go down from WFZ. I don't know, maybe we'll see a second one. Nope, that's going to get coiled. Are we going to see this one go down from Lucifer? Yes, Lucifer's Fiend does go down. He only has a level 2 Death Knight, so he only has level 1 coil versus level 3 coil, or level 2 coil, I'm sorry, from the WFC player. Here we see Lucifer does have a Destroyer out on the field now. It immediately gets webbed and it starts taking some damage. We do see that the Lich over here from WFC has a Potion of Invulnerability, which is 15 seconds long, forcing the TP from Lucifer on the Death Knight. Another Fiend goes down. This fight has been pretty well fought for WFZ. As you can see, it has 2 statues and 2 Fiends at the end of it, and Lucifer has none of those, just his heroes. However, he didn't lose his heroes, which is nice. That's definitely nice. And here we do see that this Lich is level 2. It's about to hit level 3, or it's halfway through level 2. So it's on its way to level 3 very soon. It will have that. And over here for Lucifer, we can see that his Death Knight is still not quite halfway through level 2. Now, getting level 3 on this Death Knight is pretty vital at this point. Matching the hero levels for the Lich, not as important because the hero levels that matter are 1, 3, and 5. 2 and 4 don't really matter all that much. They can make a big difference with the amount of mana you have, but as far as really being vital, it's not a huge deal, especially on a map with double fountains of mana. So yeah, here we do see an ancient Django of Endurance being picked up by Lucifer, which is again, it gives you, it's the same as the Torn Chieftain's ultimate. As you can see, it does not stack with Endurance Aura, which is Torn Chieftain. I said ultimate, his aura, I mean, which is going to be, it provides movement speed and attack speed. And I believe it's 10% to each, or maybe it's 15, I don't remember. But it's one of the two, I think it's actually 15%. Usually those are slightly better than the level 1 version of their equivalent. And usually by about 5%. Here we do see Lucifer going ahead and taking on the red right here. This red is pretty powerful, but not really all that bad. And we do see he's actually bringing in some ghouls to help creep this out. What item did he get? He got a Book of the Dead. Very nice item. And he is level 4 on his Lich. Now, if he hits level 5 on his Lich, like I said, that'll be a big deal. And it's nice to level 4. It does give you some damage and some life and all of that good stuff. But ultimately, it's not any major advantage over a level 3 Lich. So he is level 3 on his Death Knight, however, and we do see he's going to get jacked right here. Now, his Dark Ranger's actually got a TP as well as an Invul Potion, and here comes the fight. So what's going to happen here? We do know Lucifer does have Destroyers. Will he go ahead and pop one out? Who knows? This Death Knight does not really have a lot right here. Is he going to be able to keep it alive? It's going to run away, and it's going to live with just 2 HP at its worst point. This fight is going to go ahead and go to what appears to be WFZ as he forces Lucifer to TP out, really doing a lot of damage there. So it's a really nice fight by WFZ. A big benefit to have the Shade running around on the map, able to just get these jacks off and do a lot of damage to Lucifer. Now, over here we do see that he has not yet decided to go with Frost Worms. He may not decide to do that, but he does have a Temple of the Damned out, which he is allowing him to research the Banshee upgrade, which will give him Anti-Magic Shell, and he is making a Banshee queued up right after that. Now, a Banshee is a pretty big deal in this mirror, but because it's all about the nuke damage, really, and not completely sorry, not completely about the nuke damage, but it's got it's a big deal. Nuke damage is a big deal. So here we do see a Dust going off, and I think Lucifer kind of knows there's a Shade. The Shade just happened to be out of range at that point of time of the Dust. And here we do see another Jack coming off. So here, is Lucifer going to finish that creep off? No, he's not. And he is going to take quite a bit of damage onto his Death Knight. Is he going to lose his Death Knight right here? Who knows? Running away from that fight with his Death Knight. Getting both of his Destroyers webbed, going to decide to stay in the fight just long enough to do something with that web. Trying to pick off a Fiend isn't going to be able to do so. Sorry. Losing yet another Fiend. Lucifer is quite behind at this point in this game. Is he going to be able to make a comeback? I don't know. Just go ahead and provide 2 more destroyers right here. Trying to do something, but he's just way behind at this point. Finally picking off a Fiend with a very nice silence on the Death Knight. Here you see his Death Knight taking a lot of damage. He does not have any survivability items on him. The Death Knight is on the Lich. And the another destroyer goes down. Lucifer actually turning this fight around not too badly right there. Running away with his Death Knight down at 30 HP. The micro, insane. And he's going to be able to do something here. Will he be able to do... Not going to be able to pick off that Lich. It does have an Invoke Potion. And he has not got his Death Knight right here, so it's going to be harder for him to run away. Where is his Death Knight? In fact, it's still in the base. But he does... The WFZ does back off from that fight. Now, I'm surprised that WFZ lost that fight. Well, I shouldn't say he lost, because he didn't. He won the fight, but I would say it was very marginal. And I'm surprised that he did not make it a much bigger victory, because he definitely could have, I think. Oh, what a good item. If only Lucifer had went for that item, he would have got that Hellstone, which would have been a big, big deal. As it is, it's a pretty big deal for WFZ to have it now. And we do see his Liches from Lucifer taking a lot of damage here. We do see Invoke Potions on both of the weak heroes for WFZ, which is the Lich and the DR. DR being able to narrowly avoid death at 22 life with an Invoke Potion. Very nicely done. And there is WFZ's burrowed Fiend. Of course, he has a Shade, so Lucifer's Fiend, if they burrowed, wouldn't be too big of a deal for him to pick those off. Well, and over here we can see that there is a reveal by who it looks like. Probably by WFZ, actually. Did he pick up an item that gives him reveal? He may have. I'm trying to see. No. Maybe he used one of these. Yeah. Yeah, he must have used one of those things right there. One of the shops that actually do it. And I think what he would be doing there is just trying to fake out Lucifer to make Lucifer not think he has a Shade, because I don't think Lucifer has scouted that sacrificial pit just yet. If we look over here, I'm kind of curious. I don't think we've seen any Banshees on the field yet, but I know he made one earlier. So let's see. Maybe it's in his army. He was keeping them in his base. So here they come, joining the army at this point, and they are adept, so they will be in a good spot to be able to do a lot of damage to Lucifer. So we'll see what happens. I say, do a lot of damage. I mean, prevent a lot of damage from Lucifer, because that's what they do. Now, we see Lucifer over here at the mercenary camp. Might get some mercenaries. There's some good mercenaries that you can always get. We'll see what he gets. I don't know exactly what mercenaries are on this map, but we'll see if he buys one. Picking up a Magnetar Warrior. Ooh, look at that guy. 900 HP, 2 armor. Only takes extra damage from magic attacks and does 27 to 30 damage. That's pretty nice. Here we do see that these are all anti-magic units. Anti-magic shelled units, which prevents about 300 magic damage from going off, and immediately trying to focus down the Dark Ranger, who does have an Invoke Potion as well as a coil coming in to keep him alive. His Magnetar Warrior from Lucifer does go down, and we do see that Lucifer uses the dust, but it's a little late for that. Keeping one of his units alive does go ahead and pick off a Fiend. However, really doesn't have as many units as his opponent at this point, and his opponent does have some really nice things. His Death Knight goes down. Ouch. And over here we can see that he is not going to be able to win this fight without that Death Knight, and he calls GG. So, good game. WFZ takes game 1. We'll see what happens in game 2, which we'll be going to here in just momentarily after we look at all the different leaderboards. This is units. This is heroes. And this is resources. So, click right here and go to game 2.